Warning, this content is for entertainment and educational purposes only. This video is brought to you by First Detachment Nutrition. Battle tested, expert formulated. Use discount code AB10 at checkout for 10% off. All right, folks, Big Paul here today. I'm officially 2 weeks out from Masters Nationals in Pittsburgh, PA. Getting down to the wire now. Things are getting close. My brain's starting to play tricks on me. Anyone who's done prep knows how that goes at the end. That's why the coach needs a coach, because your brain always tells you something that's not real, and you have to put your faith in someone else's hands and let them make the decisions. And we'll talk about it in just 1 second. I don't know how people coach themselves on contest prep. I know there are guys that do it. Dorian Yates did it. Some of the guys back in the 90s did it. But really, most everybody has a coach. I like to think I know what I'm doing, and I have been able to mostly get my guys in shape for shows and have them place well. But man, I'm telling you, when you get towards the end, your brain starts to play tricks on you. You start to see things in the mirror that aren't there. You start to second guess yourself. You start to have self-doubt. You start to think that, man, maybe things are starting to go sideways. Anyone who's done a show knows what I'm talking about. I get like this every year towards the end of my prep. Last year, I remember freaking out towards the end, and I finally just said, fuck it. I'm just, whatever happens, happens. I end up going out and placing really well. But you never know what's going to happen, so you just sort of have to put it in fate's hands and see what happens. So that's why I have a coach, and that's why I pay someone to be my common sense for me, to make sure I don't screw things up at the end, because I probably would. I think second guess themselves and screw things up. I just let Justin drive the ship, and wherever he tells me to go, I do it. So where I'm at right now, fasted weight is about the same. I have one here, 242. I think that was last week's weight. Actually, I should have updated. That was like 243 today. I was up like a pound. Daytime weight's around 249, 250. I did more food this week. Justin pushed my food back up. I got up in the 250s for a while, and then it was just down after that. And I hit this point, and I'll show you in the pictures, where I look my best, I think about 3 days after my high day, maybe 2 to 3 days after my high day. It's where I look the best. And then it's just, I get softer and I get flatter from there. It's a weird thing. You probably can't see it, but I can see it in the pictures. But that's just how it goes. On prep, you got to get flat to lose fat. So my overall weight is up just a little bit this weekend. Justin said we were done with burning fat. He was happy with where I was at, and he just wanted to bring me in full and big. So we'll see where things go. I feel like I'm a little bit leaner than I was last week, even eating 600 grams of carbs on my medium days. My blood pressure is down 110 over 70-ish. I cut the Talmosartan. I wanted to say lisinopril. That's what I used to take back in the day. But I cut the Talmosartan down to 20 milligrams a day. I may just drop it out altogether the last couple weeks. Sleep right now is, I had one rough night this week where I just could not fucking go to sleep. Could not go to sleep. I think I had too much coffee. I'm super sensitive to stimulants, and you combine that in with the ephedrine, which I'm only doing 1 dose of ephedrine a day, and you put that in with the ephedrine and with the clenbuterol, and it gets to be on the low day. It's always a low day where I can't sleep. My height, for those of you who care, 6'1 3/4. My fasted glucose, I don't know, it's around the 90s. I don't check it every day, but I check it some days. People had some guys, I posted some food pictures of my food and stuff up, and people were asking me, how do you maintain glucose sensitivity on contest prep? I'm like, dude, you're in a calorie deficit. Even when I'm eating all these carbs, still in a calorie deficit. Insulin sensitivity is not an issue. I'm sorry, not glucose sensitivity, but insulin sensitivity is not an issue when your body fat is single digits and you're in a calorie deficit. It's when you're in a surplus, your body fat gets higher. That's when insulin sensitivity starts to be a problem. Yeah, I had that bad night of 4 hours of sleep. I can see it in my resting pulse rate. My resting pulse rate went up. I didn't take a picture of it, but it usually is around 70s, low 70s, and then it went up into the 80s the next day. Strength, my legs, I don't know, legs are holding. Upper body is down. I've been deliberately pulling back on the upper body stuff. My dogs are barking, by the way, because the fireworks are going off. My upper body has gone down. I deliberately cut the weights back because I'm on Winstrol now, and Winstrol always makes everything hurt. My muscles get really tight. My joints get stiff. I feel like if I make one wrong move, I'm going to tear something, so I'm being very deliberate and slow with my movements, and I pulled my weights back a bit just on purpose. Health, I feel like I'm catching a cold. Felt like it last week, too, at the end of last week as well. You can hear me, I'm stuffy. Had a little bit of a sore throat this week. There's been people sick at the gym. It's been going around. I'm feeling creaky from the Winstrol. The Building Effective Cycles Ultimate Cheat Sheet, still have that up. If you want to pick that up, it is half off. It's $20. It's a cheat sheet. I don't want people to think it's a full-blown ebook, but it is about 20 pages long, and it has breakdowns of how to put a simple breakdown of how to put an off-season cycle together, a simple breakdown of how to put a fat loss / contest prep cycle together. It has compound choices, how to choose the right compound to get the right job done. Not just for cycles, but for things like insulin sensitivity and injury healing and things like that. I also have a simple side effect mitigation sheet on there. It's just a couple words on what side effect and what might be causing it. It's not definitive. And some profiles on commonly used PEDs with my personal experiences and just some highlights on those. It's great value for $20. Pictures right now. So this is what I look like today. I need to get a new phone. My phone sucks. It's 3 years old now. These are the front cameras, so they're blurry. The light sucks at home, but when you look good in your crappy pictures, you're going to look good, even better in the stage light. You can see here, this was this morning. I flatten out over the week, and I get a little soft at the same time. It's really fucking weird, man. And here's the side pics. You can see my glutes are in. I have striations. It's hard to see here in my obliques, but I've got the fan down my obliques. My lower back, I don't know. I think I pretty much got the fat off. That's just skin at this point. When you're old, it's just how it goes. My glutes are in. I also having a 4th of July sale on the Science of Performance Enhancing Drugs e-course. There's 40 to 50 hours of content on there and 100 modules if you want to learn about PEDs. Go into the deep dive. The cheat sheet's just a short, simple little summary of things. The e-course is, if you want to go the deep dive, it's 20% off. Use code AB20 at checkout. Here is the gym pics. You can see the difference here. I think this was 2 days after my high day. So you can see what I look like 2 days after my high day, how different I look. I look way fuller 2 days after my high day. A little bit harder, fuller. I think I look better here. You can see here, of course this is the better lighting, but you can see here I have fullness and hardness at the same time. A little bit soft from behind, but that was just, holding water. I mean, I ate 1,600 grams of carbs. But you can see what it looks like. The following day, I had some professional photos done. I dried out even more by that day. And you can see here what I look like. Now, granted, this is from a professional photographer. They run it through filters and Photoshop and all this stuff. So you can, they make things pop a little bit more. But you can see what I look like under professional photography. You can see what that looks like. These are the professional photographer pics. All right, anyway, food. Nothing's changed on the diet. I didn't do the unlimited. Today I was doing my high day. I didn't really do the unlimited high day. The Winstraw crushes my appetite. I just kind of went back to the old macros on the high day, which were 1,200 grams of carbs. And that's plenty. My medium days are at 525 grams of carbs. Sorry, I think I said 600 earlier. It's not 600. It's 525, 370 protein, 40 grams of added fat. For my added fats right now, I am just doing fish oil, flax oil, little bit of olive oil, whatever. That's what, it's minimal. And I keep my meat sources mostly to just chicken and cod right now. I'll do some beef here and there. Probably for the last 2 weeks, I'll just do chicken and cod to keep the fat really low. And I'm not counting trace fats. There's very little in the chicken anyway. So my calories right now are around, close to 4,000 on my medium days. My high day is something like 6,000. I did that one really high day where I went up to like 10,000 calories, 9,000 calories, something like that. My low days are 360 grams of 360 grams of protein, 300 grams of carbs, 84 grams of added fat. I do that 1 day a week. And what I've been doing for the low days, I've been eating a little bit fattier meat. Like I'll get some steak for a couple of the meals. And then I don't do the added fats. So it kind of makes up for the added fats. And then I'll get in my EFAs on 3 of the meals. I think I'll do steak for like 2 of the meals. And then the other 4, I'll do the added fats. I'll keep it super lean. But my low day, which was yesterday, it's funny, I'm flat after my low day. You can see it like in the pictures this morning. I was flat from 300 grams of carbs. Flat and a little mushy. Current PEDs, the anabolics will be dropped soon, somewhere around 7 to 10 days out. It's Test, Primo, Masteron, all each at 1 gram a week, 150 milligrams a day. I take it every day. I up the Winstraw to 50 milligrams per day. When I drop the injectables, I will be upping the Winstraw. Estrogen management right now is 25 milligrams of exemestane each day, 10 milligrams of tamoxifen. Peptides are 9 units of pharma, HGH. And somebody was asking me about insulin. I only run it on the high days, and I think I may just even drop it going into the show because insulin can make you retain some water. Fat burners right now, ECA stack, 200 milligrams of caffeine, 25 milligrams of ephedrine, 81 milligrams of aspirin. I usually just do that in the morning, not on the high day. I skip the stimulants on the high day. And I may have a cup of coffee before I go to the gym. So I don't know. I'm probably getting somewhere around 400 milligrams of coffee a day. I do my caffeine from coffee. I do 3 cups of coffee per day, basically. I don't know what that works out to be. 3 12-ounce cups of coffee. So 36 ounces of coffee. It's probably around 400 milligrams of caffeine, somewhere around there. 100 micrograms of Clen. I may pull that back. I don't know. I've been okay with the Clen. Clen doesn't seem to bother me like the ephedrine does. The ephedrine and the caffeine really amp me up and make it hard to sleep. Usually if I pull the ephedrine and caffeine out, I can sleep. Health supplements, I am doing Suppressor Max. They're first attachments, glucose disposal agent that has berberine in it. You can pick it up with discount code AB10 for 10% off. General Health, I do a whole food multivitamin twice a day. Somebody was asking me about this. I need to get links to this in my profile. I keep meaning to do that. Or in my video description. I am doing Thorne. They're doing their whole food multivitamin twice a day. 2,000 milligrams of vitamin C, 5,000 units of vitamin D, 500 milligrams of magnesium glycinate, cardiovascular health, 3,000 milligrams of fish oil, 2,000 milligrams of flax oil, 100 milligrams of quinol Q10, 1,200 milligrams of citrus bergamot, 1,200 milligrams of red rice yeast extract. That is probably overkill for the cardiovascular stuff, but I will say this, my HDL, even on all the orals, usually stays pretty high. I very rarely see people on PEDs that have HDL over 40. It just doesn't happen. But I can get mine up into the high 30s with this, 37, 38, even with orals. Liver, I run the QRF product from First Attachment as well. Discount code AB10 for 10% off. Kidney, I run astragalus. Actually, it's astragalus-based kidney product. It's renal reset from first detachment. Digestion, I run DAO, oxbiol anhydase, digestive enzymes, and psyllium husk nightly. Talmud I lowered it to 20 milligrams. As I mentioned, I may drop it the last 2 weeks going into the show. Training, I run an RP style training. Right now, I'm just kind of training by feel. I only train chest and shoulders once a week, everything else twice a week. But as I mentioned, the Winstraw is making me feel very, very creaky. I trained back before I recorded this, and I felt like it was going to tear my bicep a couple times. It was very tight, very stiff. My elbows hurt. So I made sure to take my time and slow down. I'm going to grab a drink here. To slow down and be very deliberate with my movements. I lightened my weight up a little bit, just 10, 15 pounds from what I normally do on things, just to make sure I'm not hurting myself. I'm not really counting reps in reserve and, volume and all that right now. I just kind of going by feel these last few weeks. Cardio is 8 to 10,000 steps per day, posing 6 times a week, 3 rounds. Diet adherence, I was perfect this week. I don't think I had any deviations or missed meals. I don't cheat on contest prep. I will miss meals occasionally. And the meals that I miss are planned. It's if I have IBS, if I feel my stomach starting to get a little weird, I just don't eat and let it heal rather than forcing the food down. I have learned my lesson about forcing the food down before. It is not a good thing. Right now, we did the super high day again last week. Like I said, I didn't do it this week. Coach's feedback. Planning on 2 shows, Masters Nationals July 18th, and my backup shows North Americans in August. All right, folks. That's all I got for you. Only one more week, and then we're headed into peak week. And it'll be time to get on the show stage and see what happens, see how I stack up. And just enjoy the moment, stay in the moment. Don't let my brain trick me. I'm just letting the coach drive the bus. And then whatever happens, happens. All right, folks. Thank you for your support. I love each and every one of you. Take care. For coaching or consultations, head over to www.anabolicbodybuilding.com to book your spot today. I can help you with optimizing hormones, fat loss, muscle gain, physique, athletic performance, nutrition, and health. For more information, shoot me an email at bigp3rd@gmail.com.